I mean, some things should be compared to in life. Seriously, there should be. But some things, should not be compared to. We're going to talk about that and more right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode of my channel, the Save Money More with Jan channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you've been here a while, don't forget to click like. If you've not been here a while, I hope you stick around and I hope you like the show. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Just getting that housekeeping out of the way. Gotta pay some bills, gotta pay some bills. All right, like everybody else. Listen, there are some things that we need to compare and should compare. There are some things we should not compare. What are you talking about, Jan? Well, I'm going to jump right into it. Number one, we should stop comparing stockpiles with other people. Sometimes we get so caught up with, well, that one has a bigger stockpile. How come they have, that whole big room, blah, 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 blah. Did you ever think of the set of circumstances that you particularly are living with? If you're a person that lives on your own, a family of one or a family of two, certainly it stands to reason to think that your stockpile is not going to be as big as a person that has more people, more space, different needs. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's circumstances is different. Everyone's level of income is different. But one thing that is not different, what's that, Jan? Everyone could stockpile. That is a fact. Period. End of story. Case closed. And we're not just only talking about long term stockpiling, we're talking about the here and now. Because a lot of people only think of the stuff that is longer term stockpiling, the stuff that could wait 6 months to a year or so. No, 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 no. Please include stuff that's in your refrigerator, stuff that's in your freezer, stuff that's in your cabinets, in your kitchen. You see where I'm going with that. Oftentimes, we sort of just think of these big rooms with a bunch of shelves. Don't get me wrong, they're fun to walk through. I used to have a friend. Unfortunately, she's no longer. She was actually a very close friend of mine for years and years and years, practically like a sister to me. And I'm telling you, it was a sad thing. She and her husband and I were all very close friends, and both of them are no longer. It breaks my heart. I used to see her go to excessivity in terms. She had like a shopping addiction. I'm not even going. There's no other way to say it. She had like a shopping addiction, but that's another show. Trust me on that, and I'll revisit that topic. And not putting the lady down or anything, but let me tell you something. When I used to walk into her room, I used to call it a nuclear room. I hate to call it like that, but because it just looked so. I'm like, what are you like preparing for here? It was just the two of them. Their adult child, they had one, was an adult woman who was a married woman, wasn't living with them. There was, in my opinion, no need to have. I mean, I even said to her, I said, all you need is a cash register in this place. I felt like I was walking into like literally like a small town grocery store, you know, like Sam Drucker on that show back in the day, Green Acres. Plus some. I mean, it was adorable. It was really, really good. But it was, to me, unrealistic. I'm like, it's just the two of them. But whatever. So that's why I said to myself, well, it's not relatable. Like usually if a person is a family of one or two, it's not on that grand scale at all whatsoever. I'm just saying about usual versus unusual in that case, because getting back to the comparison thing, why do I think it's detrimental to compare all these things? And some people take it to heart, and then they feel badly, and then they feel like they get overwhelmed, and then they feel like they cannot achieve that goal. Your goal is for your family's needs. Okay, let's rewind that one again. Your goal is for your family's needs. Not the neighbor down the block, with 5 kids. If it's just you and your spouse slash significant other, or just yourself. Now, if you're a family, certainly if you're a family of one, it doesn't make logical sense to stock up like as if you are a family of 4 or 5. You see where I'm going with this? So in that case, stop comparing. Now, where it pays to compare are comparison prices. Check it out, prices per unit. Are you getting what you bargained for? Sometimes sales are set up to make you think that you're getting way more than you're actually getting. That's the beauty part of nowadays technology. At the touch of a button, a click, you're just clicks away from comparing prices and comparing prices per unit price. The one thing that you multiply and say, am I really getting that better deal to buy 10 of this item? Now, logically, doesn't it make sense if you're stockpiling also for your longer term stockpile? Let's talk about that for a brief second. Doesn't it make logical sense that if something goes on sale that you actually use, your family actually uses, then you get it? I have seen some sales that look good on the outside, but would not be a perfect fit for me. For example, there's a certain kind of toothpaste that I really, really like. And when that one goes on sale, I will purchase that if I get it in bulk at a greater price. I know I'm always going to brush my teeth, right? See where I'm going with that? But if there's another brand that I'm not too hot on that brand, and it's just going to end up sitting there, end up, giving it away or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great to be charitable, but it's also very good to make wise choices. Buy the things that your family uses. Buy the things that you know in advance you're going to use. I think I don't know if you heard that video yet about my like versus dislike with tuna packages. Maybe you did. I have come to learn not long ago that I actually enjoy working with the tuna pouches as opposed to cans of tuna. Back in the old days, that's all they had were the cans. The tuna pouches would suffice for me. Let's say I want to go out for a long walk and I don't want to go to an expensive restaurant. I don't mind just having, let's say, a little bit of a tuna pouch protein break in between everything and warding off my appetite. That's one reason. The other reason is suppose I want to make a quick sandwich at home. I don't have to deal with draining tuna cans. I don't have to deal with having salad left over that maybe I don't prefer to have it that way. I like it just fresh and just the way it is, right out of the pouch. You see where I'm going with that. And I did the math for myself. I know in advance that I only limit myself for, health reasons, because they say certain things about, certain fish and all that. You can't have too much of certain fish because maybe there might be an issue with mercury. I'm not sure if that's true. Who knows? I'm not a scientist. I just go by what I'm reading. Okay. So what I do is limit myself to 1 pouch of tuna per week. And I did the math. And according to my math, if I eat 1 pouch of tuna per week, that would be for years worth about 52 pouches a year. I said 48 the other day because I kept thinking in terms of 4 weeks out of the month. Excuse me, please. But the reality is that a whole year of tuna would be 52 pouches. So what do I do in a case like that? I wait until I see what I like is on sale. Then I harp on it. Sometimes I could get a 10 for 10 sale of my favorite pouches of tuna. If I see that, I have no issue buying 5 of those packs, which equal the 50 packs for the year. That I know for an entire year, that I'm going to have my tuna fish fixed. And of course, there may be a week, because I'm not a robot, there may be a week that I'm not going to eat that tuna. You see where I'm going with this? And by the way, heaven forbid something goes wrong, I don't have to worry about can openers. I always have this as a great backup protein, along, of course, with my crackers. It's really, really good to get crackers, and I know the places to get some crackers really, really inexpensively. So it's not good to compare. So looking back at my friend's stockpile back in the day, yeah, it was like a dream come true. I mean, I'm thinking like, gee, would it be really nice if I had a stockpile like that? But I look back and say, no, that's not fitting for my needs. Okay. So everybody's needs are tailor made and customizable. Everybody's not going to wear the exact same shoe. Think about that too. You have to get the shoe that fits you, that fits your styles, your type of living. That's what you have to do. That's what we have to do. So when I say you, obviously I am meaning to say me. Of course, of course, of course. I want to talk to you a minute about a savings hack, and I'll be right back because I'd like you not to forget to do the following. Okay, so here's a savings hack of mine that I use, and feel free to try it yourself. I did a little bit of price comparison. You know those chocolate morsels that you use for baking? Sometimes we forget. We can actually just have like a handful of them whenever that little need for a little bit of chocolate lift comes around, sometimes in mid afternoon. Take a little handful of those and you got your chocolate fix finished. Yes. Many people have those little chocolate morsels in their pantry. So I just thought that I'd mention that little bit of a savings hack because I did some price comparison of chocolate, like in general, like the average price compared to the bags. And I'm like, wait a minute, I could get my chocolate fix for like slashed down to like half the cost. It doesn't have to be an after Christmas sale either or an after Valentine's Day sale. Sometimes the nurture chocolate hits you in the middle of May. What kind of chocolate sale are you going to find in May? Unless you find somebody that sells it cheaply for Mother's Day. I'm just saying something to that effect. So don't forget the humble little bag of chocolate morsels where you want a little bit of a handful of something as a sweet treat, let's say middle of the day, and it's very, very cost effective. So let's talk about savings hacks. Do you have a savings hack that works for you? One of the ones that I utilize is my rule of half. I have done several videos on my rule of half. I discovered this rule of half on my own for my own lifestyle way, way, way back. And I mean way back. And I'm talking about, let's say, in the late 1990s and early 2000s. I've discovered many, many things that I do not have to use things in its entirety. And it actually doubles my use or gives myself a 50% discount, so to speak. What savings hack have you developed over time? Please let all of us know about this where in the comment section below. I want to thank everybody for being here. I really do appreciate your time. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. And we all need to do what this lady does. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourself and your wonderful family.